Education has been affected by numerous amounts of different philosophies throughout the centuries. From idealism to perennialism, different ideas have been formed that still shape how we teach today. Reconstructionism is one of these concepts.
Unlike the other types of philosophies, Reconstructionism is not set in stone. It has many different interpretations and can be applied in many different ways. This idea has come and gone throughout the time, but its effects are still being felt.
Reconstructionism is basically the bettering of society. It is how you look at the world around you and how you want to shape it. It is opening one's eyes to the problems that grip our society and wanting to make a difference.
There are two prominent figures in this type of thinking, Paulo Freire and Henry Guerreau.
Paulo Freire was a Brazilian who spoke out against the social injustices in his culture. He was very concerned about the poor and how they lived. He spoke out many times against society and how they ignored the problems around them. Freire was punished for these opinions and sent to prison. During this time, he wrote books that conveyed his ideas. In 1979, he returned to Brazil and went on staff at a university. He was able, through that work, to cause reform to come up.
Freire was very much against the mentality that teachers simply deposited information in students' brains. He called it student banking. He believed that a teacher was the instructor but could also be the learner. He called for teachers to not just talk about the problems like they were not relevant to the students, but to address the problems and cause the students to come up with solutions.
Henry Guerreau was another shaper of Reconstructionism. He believed the same things that Freire taught. He also agreed about the position of the teacher and student, that sometimes the teacher could also be the learner. It is in the student's best interest that the teacher does not merely stand by and push information into their thinking. The teacher must also make it relevant to the students today in order to cause the students to act and change the social injustices around them. Guerreau is considered one of the top shapers of pedagogy and holds a chair at Penn State University.
This philosophy is still relevant today. Teachers in a classroom should be willing to talk about the problems in their society. But not only do they need to talk about the problems, they should be developing student discussions that can come up with solutions to these problems.
This concept is very easy to put into a classroom. Having a mock trial will cause the students to have a firmer grasp on the justice system and how it works in America. They will be informed and able to correct the flaws that they see in the system.
Another way Reconstructionism can be put into a classroom is designing the room so that discussion is highly encouraged. Set up the chairs in a circle and allow the atmosphere to be comfortable enough that the students are not afraid to voice their own opinion.
Putting up posters and maps of the different levels of problems throughout the world is a helpful tool to have a constant visual aid for the students.
Another excellent way to get this idea across is to actually have the students enter into an area where there is a major social problem. Take them to a soup kitchen or to a park where they perform a community service. This will open their eyes and give them a real living example of how there are issues and how they can help resolve them.
These are just some of the ways where Reconstructionism can be put into a classroom. It is beneficial because it not only opens a student's eyes to a problem, but it also shows them how they can participate in solving these problems. It shows the students that they can make a difference. They just have to choose where to start.